The jig is up, all right? The Fresh and Fit creators, YouTubers, had their channel supposedly demonetized. Now, Abba and Preach rightfully predicted this about a month ago.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, if you want to throw away your YouTube channel in the dumbest way possible, cool. You just cost yourself and your staff millions of dollars over one of the dumbest things I've ever seen possible.
When Myron hopped on stream dressed as a member and made mocking monkey noises to depict how he perceives Preach to be. That really happened. And Abba rightfully predicted that this was going to completely get their channel removed and or demonetized. Now, Fresh and Fit did a video addressing this entire situation, and I think many people are asking questions. What do different creators think? What impact does this have to creators that are maybe edgy or maybe pushing the line? Was it just that they had some conservative adjacent values that led to this? Was it that they actually violated policy? Which policy did they violate? All of that. I'll give you guys my thoughts. But before we get into that, let's just jump into their clip. This is probably the clip that everyone's talking about. There's going to be some profanity on this, most likely.
Had your kids, had your wife.
Explicit, explicit,
Explicit.
Where we shoot the location doesn't want us to stay here.
So not only did their channel got demonetized, they got to move out of Myron's apartment, or at least move the show out of Myron's apartment because they don't want them there either. So this is just kind of all at once coming down on them.
I didn't want to have to say that. I really don't want to have to admit that. I wanted to just move the studio.
They live in like a really, he lives in like a really nice, tall building in the heart of Miami.
Or surprise you guys, new studio, it's lit. There is a matrix, man. Like, I mean, we've talked about this with Andrew at length. Like, people don't want you guys to get this message, dude.
Even Rumble's under attack too,
bro.
From everybody.
Yeah, they're trying to shut Rumble down.
I think at some point there was free speech where it was like, okay, you know what?
Yeah.
Say what you got to say. We won't crucify you. But nowadays, free speech is kind of like, is it even a thing? I mean, not really.
And and I've already put a considerable amount of my money into this new studio for you guys. I already put it in. I'm like,
so he put a lot of money into this. He stopped working for the FBI. They're very well invested in this, and now the channel gets demonetized. Let's see if it's still demonetized, because you can't even make so you cannot make a contribution, super thanks or super chat or anything like that.
Like all in, you know what I mean? And it's okay. I'm never gonna say, well, I'm doing this, blah blah blah, and I hate doing this. I love doing this. I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't say I didn't love doing this. I left a job that I truly loved to do this, right? Because I shouldn't be admitting this, but saving children, right? That was great. But saving you guys is better.
That's what happened. And listen, I have my disagreements with Fresh and Fit. I've tried to go on their platform and have some conversations with them. I'm not going to kick them while they're down. I don't think that'll be right. This idea that the reason why they got their channel demonetized is because of the Matrix seems like a perpetual pattern within this red pill community to repeatedly avoid taking responsibility for anything. And it's frustrating. It's very gaslighty, because you guys didn't get your channel demonetized because you were getting men to work out and go to the gym and spit game at girls. Probably not even because you would get girls to come on the show and dunk on them, because they were there and their and stuff was going on. All right, it's official. Took some work, took some maneuvering, but we are now offering a virtual ticket to our live podcast event happening August 26th in Oceanside. So if you can't make it to Oceanside, if you're not from Southern California, go to RuslanLive.com to get your virtual ticket to join us live while we'll be streaming the event to all you guys watching who can't be here with us in person. What if the very things that Christian culture often dismisses as worldly actually aren't bad desires? What do I mean by that? It's obvious that the world values things like money, fitness, fame, and immediate gratification. But I like to propose that those natural human desires can actually be redirected with God's words and God's ways of doing things in order to bring glory to Him and serve our neighbor on this side of eternity. And I like to call this very concept God-driven ambition. And we'll be unpacking all of this at my very first live podcast in-person gathering happening August 26th in Oceanside, California. We'll have God Logic Apologetics, Pastor Jeff Moores from Rhythm Church, John Keith, Trizzle Fitness, and hosted by my guy Ray Rock. Lock it in on your calendars right now. Saturday, August 26th in Oceanside, California at Rhythm Church. Click the button down below or go to RuslanLive.com to get more information and get your ticket now. So they were in it. Like it was a mutually beneficial situation. You bring on cute girls, you tell them they're modern women and they're trash. Their fans go up because your weirdo incel community wants to, beat their meat to these chicks, and is a win-win for everybody. I bet you that's not even why they got demonetized. Why they got demonetized, more than likely, is a lot of the JQ stuff. If you know what I'm talking about, it's a lot of the Nick Fuentes, Sneeko, the Jays, Control and Run the World, and the Lizard People, and that sort of stuff, stacked with possibly the overtly racist stuff that y'all said about Abba and Preach. The monkey noises, the Ku Klux Klan, with the white, the white hood and the like, that stuff was bad. And so, Abba called it a month ago, and I don't think no one's like rejoicing. At least I'm not. I think that it's a bummer when people are getting deplatformed for whatever reason. I think it's better to let everybody know who these guys are, what they're on, so that we can collectively come together and expose some of the foolishness. I think that's a net positive. I think I'd rather know what they're doing, what Nick Fuentes is doing, what these goobers are doing, because I think that it's an opportunity to create dialogue, to have content, to have debate around the ideas. And we've seen that. We've seen Michael Sartine and go on there and debate and do a good job, okay? So this idea that they're demonetized or they're kicked off the platform because of the Matrix is just nonsense. And it's again a perpetual problem of refusing to take responsibility. And I think this is going to hit them later. I have a feeling that down the road, a year or two from now, they're going to be like, dude, we were making millions of dollars dunking on women and doing our podcast, which they had a great format for a podcast. I will never take that away from that. A good format for a podcast. The content was entertaining. It struck a chord with people. But you got to ask, if we're being honest, like, where was it a net positive or a net negative? Was it a net positive or a net negative? I'm sure for a handful of men, the cathartic nature of wanting to blame women for all of their issues and societal ills for modern women probably felt good, and maybe even gave men the fire to get to the gym and make some improvements in their life. I'm not going to take that away. But the other side of the JQ stuff, of the stuff that they said towards Abba and Preach, of them sending, dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of strike takedowns to creators, everyone from the lead attorney to Jamari to Abba and Preach, trying to take legal action and get other people's channels demonetized and taken away. About a year ago, this happened, where even Kevin Samuels spoke out against this stuff. Kevin Samuels, before he passed, spoke out about the goobers fresh and fit. Yeah, that happened. And so, sometimes people got to hit rock bottom, and sometimes they need to be on their back in order to look up and see God. And maybe that's what they have to go through. I think financially they're going to be fine. I think they'll work out, but they're definitely, if the channel stays demonetized, there's definitely going to be a hit on their influence and their impact. But listen, all of us on this platform, this isn't promised to us. We're not entitled to this. If you don't color within the confines of the community guidelines, you can be in a similar situation. We've seen it happen to Christian creators. And so it's like, we're not entitled to this platform. And so we have to internally take a strategic inventory of which hills am I willing to die on this platform, and which things can I be a bit more shrewd and strategic about. Where's that line? Every creator is going to have to take that self-inventory. I think the hill that they died on is a stupid hill to die on. I'm not saying they're stupid. I think it was a stupid hill to die on. I think it was a miscalculation. I think it was hubris at its finest manifestation, okay? And they chose to die on a stupid hill and messed up their own situation. And those of us that maybe are conservative, maybe are Christian, maybe don't fall within the confines, we have to take a self-inventory and say, what hill are we willing to die on? What issues are we willing to die on? And are we willing to give up the potential of reaching more people at scale in the name of XYZ issue? That's the question. And by the way, all my friends who are Christian creators on this platform, from the Alan Parrs to the John McRae's to the Michael Wingers to the Dr. Michael Browns, are not folks that avoid the controversial issues. We're not folks that back down from the hard conversations. We just do it in a way to be delicate, to be careful with our words. You guys know here we speak in coded language. And so that is why I'm not rejoicing over this, because I don't want this type of approach from YouTube to impact other creators. So that's why I'm not happy about this, even though I disagree with a lot of their presuppositions of the world and their conclusions and their prescriptions. I don't think this is a time to rejoice. I think this is like you reap what you sow. It's definitely you reap what you sow. And shout out to Nori in the chat. She said, I'm hoping the hill of Jesus Christ is Lord. Yeah, I think I absolutely. But we know, or at least some of you guys should know, that a lot of the folks who do get demonetized or do get in trouble with YouTube or do catch community strikes, sometimes it's completely bogus. Like in my situation, I caught a strike just because I was reacting to January 6th. You can go back and watch my conversation with Dr. Michael Brown from that era to know exactly where I stand. And I definitely wasn't on some goofy election deception nonsense, but just reacting to it caught me a community guideline strike when my channel was at like 60, 70,000 subscribers. So I think that's bogus, but bigger channels like this, they're not just going to arbitrarily come down on you. Like there's going to be reasons behind this stuff. And you probably have a rep or a human over at YouTube and you could push back. And so we all have to take inventory and ask that question. What hill are we willing to die on? Hey, this is a segment from our daily after party stream. Consider partnering with us online for as little as $5 a month to get access to these daily after party streams completely unedited. You'll also get access to our podcast as they are streamed live into the community before anyone else gets to see them, get to interact with our guests, get access to our private Discord server, and a discount code for our store for as little as $5 a month. Ultimately, that will help towards helping us continue contextualizing the gospel using media and podcast here on YouTube. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.